Hey there, everyone. Happy 2022. Wow. So I decided to get on for a few minutes today. I get these inspirational ideas and I just decide that I want to share something. So I was looking through a lot of my videos and ones that have a lot of views. Some are spiritual in nature, but then of course the biggies involve warrior or the ultimate warrior. So to back up again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Kathy Pickett, and I'm the author of Spirit and Belief, and I also write 2 international blogs. One is called Spirit Belief, and the other one is my warrior writings about none other than the former professional wrestler himself, the ultimate warrior. So you can find me. I'm also on Twitter, and of course here, YouTube. So I was thinking a lot about some of these videos, and one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook is a spiritual group, and every month we kind of do a different theme and we make some videos. And this past month was on numerology, which if any of you follow that, and it's okay that you don't, I'm not here to get all woo-woo on all of you. It really does factor in a lot with our lives. And I've written about this a little bit in warrior writings as well, but I've left some of the stuff as PSs. So, you have to read the whole blog. But I just thought I would do a little video on some of these crazy numbers. I'm not going to do them all with warrior. There's a lot. And I just really think it's just so iconic with him. I don't think I've looked at anybody's life with all these numbers. And no, I don't do this a lot. It's just stuff that pops up. So let's take this year. And I'm going to be talking about this coming up. For those of you who are fans of his or are fans of his, we all know the very important dates in his life, and especially those last few that he had before he passed. So this year in April, it's going to be 8 on the 8th. 8 on the 8th. So I'm just going to leave that there. But a few days before that was April 5th when he had his Hall of Fame induction. And April 5th of 1992 was WrestleMania 8. No, I don't have all the WrestleManias memorized. I have some that I know, of course, quite well if Warrior was involved in them, but I don't have them all memorized. And I can't believe now that with the WWE, they're all going to be going into the 30s now, which they have been past several years. But it just makes me feel old. I don't follow anymore, but I know they've been in the 30s, but the ones that are in the night that were happening in the 90s are now going into 30 plus years. Crazy. So anyway, so we have WrestleMania 8 this year celebrating 30 years. Warrior's last WrestleMania that he was involved with was WrestleMania 30. So you have that little connector. So just to kind of put it all together, I know sometimes it doesn't make sense, but so WrestleMania 30 that Warrior was involved with was 8 years ago. And now this year, WrestleMania 8 will be turning 30. Get it? I know. It's kind of nutty. And I just find it so compelling. And that April 5th was his Hall of Fame induction in 2014. And that's also the date of WrestleMania 8. So we'll always have that. The other thing I wanted to mention, and this just happened to tie in with my blog days, a few years ago, April 1st and April 8th both fell on Wednesdays. And that's when I put out my warrior writings. And of course, those dates are exactly a week apart. And we know April 1st was WrestleMania 6 back in 90. And of course, April 8th is when he passed. So those just happened to fall on a day that I blogged. Now, this year, we had 2 other milestones. We had WrestleMania 7 that celebrated 30 years, and WrestleMania 12 that celebrated 25. And they both also fell on Wednesdays, as did Warrior's birthday this year. So I happened to mention all those in my blog as well. And there's just so many other dates, and with me personally, numbers that line up. And I know I mentioned this all throughout my book, Spirit and Belief, the number 6 with me, not just with Warrior, but in my life. And I tend to look up the meanings of numbers in a different way. I like the more spiritual aspect of numbers and the angel meanings of numbers. So 6 means like the home, the hearth. It's very earth-centered. And I'm a Virgo, so we are earth-centered. So I get that number a lot. And I see it everywhere. So I don't maybe see sequential numbers that people get. Like 1111. Yeah, I see that a lot too. And that has a different meaning for me. But like if you're looking at the date or, the time on a clock or something, I don't always get the sequences, but I get like individual numbers. And it can be a big deal if you look at it in the way I do. There are no coincidences. Even Warrior said that, right? But even in my life, back in 2002, which I can't believe this year will be 20 years. I have a lot going on in my family this year with milestones. Okay. So my husband and I will be celebrating our 20th anniversary this year. And I'll also be turning a big age. Anyway, we went to the Poconos in Pennsylvania for our honeymoon. Okay. And I looked off the top of this mountain eating my coffee ice cream, which I found out years later Warrior liked coffee ice cream too. Kind of funny, but anyway. So I was looking down this mountain and there's a huge water park down there. And I told my husband, I said, this would be really cool to bring our future kids someday down to that water park. And we did that 12 years later. So to fast forward 6 years later, here's this number 6 again in my life, 2008. We bring our kids to Pennsylvania, not the Poconos. We went to Idlewild Park, which is so much fun if you have real little kids. And I've blogged all this stuff, but I just wanted to tie it in with numbers. And it's Storybook Forest, where you have all these classic children's books with props and houses and things you can go into. And one was The Little Engine That Could. I'm not going to say the whole story. This is going to get too long-winded, but I did a blog post on that. And Warrior bought that book for Vince when he came back for his Hall of Fame return. And I knew I had that book in my attic, and I have a picture of my kids standing by this big train poster of The Little Engine That Could. And it was very heartwarming to me. So that's in a video on Warrior's life that was out there on YouTube that somebody made. But I love that part, and it's about 11 minutes in. There's 11 again. It was called The Final Days, I think, of The Ultimate Warrior, but it was his Hall of Fame weekend. And so there's sad parts, but the Little Engine That Could part really blew me away. But anyway, anyhow, so we took our kids there, and that was 2008. Fast forward another 6 years, so this will be 2014, when Warrior passed. We go to PA again, but this is when we went back to the Poconos area, where we had our honeymoon, and close by that area. So we showed the kids a lot of the spots and everything. We rented a house for the very first time. We never did that before, and we brought our dog with us. And some of these stories are in the book, but the woman who we were renting from, her name was Dana. Didn't make this connection at the time because this was back in January, and it was just starting, with him being announced of being inducted. And one of the streets was Indiana Court. There was a lot of street names that were native over there, but that was, his oldest daughter's name, his state and everything. I just couldn't believe all these little connectors. It was so cool. But yeah, so all of those dates were 6 years apart, from 02 to 08 to 14. They were all 6. And so I have that, and I'm just living my life. I'm just doing my thing. And there's lots of other things I mentioned in the blog, and you can check that out. if numbers connect for you. And there's other things with Warrior. He had a lot of April things. And I'm just blown away by it all. And this could mean nothing to you. If it's too woo-woo for you and it's over your head and you didn't care, okay, you don't care. That's okay. But it connects for me. And so it does matter. And numbers can be powerful things if we allow them to be. But again, if this isn't for you, it's not for you. But you can connect numbers in your life and dates and things like that. And I could go on and on, but I just didn't want this to get too long-winded. But so those were just some really cool things that connected with his life and mine. And just all these milestones that keep coming up. Every time I think I'm done with a milestone, there's another one. There's another one. So anyway, I hope everybody has a great January, and I'll be back soon. So find me at spiritbelief.com, mywarriorwritings.com. You'll read all about that. My book, my blogs. I'm on Twitter, and I'm here. So I might be doing another podcast soon. So I have another opportunity to do that. So have a great day, everybody, wherever you are, and enjoy this year. It's going to go fast. Okay, take care, everyone.